and welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am David, your host, the host with the most. And today we're going to be talking about opportunities and mindset go together. Or should I say, opportunity and mindsets go together. So today we're going to really get into it and we're going to deal with a little bit of the simplicity at the center and how you can make yourself a better person by doing what's necessary to be best. And this episode is really about the opportunities that are always prevalent and always there that will make sure that you have the best in life. One of the situations that always presents itself is how far along are you in making yourself a better person? And how far are you in understanding what opportunities are being presented to you? And are you able to take them or explore them? Within our group, if you would like to go to the chat or you want to be a part of the chat, you can chat.restream.io.facebook or chat.restream.io/FB. And this is the page you'll come to, and it'll say allow Restream to show my name. So once you click this button, once you click that button, and it should be in the chat and all over the page, you just click this, allow Restream to show my name. Okay, and then once you do that, then the next page it'll go to will be this one, where it says, now we'll see your name and picture when you comment on a Facebook Live video inside a group. That's all you needed to do. You may return to Facebook, and then you just press this here and you can return to Facebook. So let's go through it one more time. Okay. You'll see the chat.restream.io/FB, and then this will come up and it'll ask you, want us to show your name and image next to your live chat comments. And then you press this button, and then what will happen is you'll receive the thank you. And this will say back to Facebook. So here it is once more. All right. Allow Restream to show my name. Okay. And then you click this button here. And then back to Facebook. There you go. And you'll be right back in the stream and you'll end up at the live stream. So, which is the best thing you can have, which is here, and you'll be over here. So you guys can't see it, but it's here. Here's the chat, and it'll say a bunch of things in there. Let's add the chat overlay, okay? And then all the comments and stuff will start over here. So, so let's see. Okay, there it is. Okay, as you can see, it's up there. All right. So it's the chat.restream.io/Facebook. And we're going to give everybody a big hello. So we're just going through, waiting for some people to join. I've got some messages that they're going to join, and we'll see about it. How's everyone doing good today? Mm-hmm. There you go. And there's your chat.restream.io.facebook. Now, reason why I wanted to get into simplicity at the center, because there's a longer saying for that. And what I wanted to do was to make sure that we could all move forward together. And the reason why is because in our group, it has to be that way. All right. And this is our brain portal to excellence, which you see here. And what's good about it is there's a brain with all the knowledge, and there's a ship here, and it's going to a portal, and the portal is going to a better place. So we don't know what planet is leaving from, but we do know the brain is working. So that's why we say the simplicity at the center, because this is a brain portal to excellence. And when you have a brain portal to excellence, then what happens is that you become greater, and then opportunities present themselves. It's an old saying, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And that's what we mean by that. That's because opportunities abound when you're ready. And as you're ready, you move forward. But if you're not ready, then you're never going to be able to take the opportunity. And sometimes being not ready is just a matter of fear. If you have fear and you think that you can't do it, or you have doubts, then that opportunity goes. Hopefully it'll come back around, but it may never come back around. So that's why you have to take those opportunities when possible. That's why here within opportunities and mindset go together, these two run all concurrent and then all together. So they run here, but at some point they cross, and then they keep going forward like a ship in the night. What makes it a great situation is that those opportunities will take you to the next level. And when you get to the next level, there's a chance of you being better at your craft. And there's a chance of you of being more of service, or more of on your mission or your life path. That's what makes it a great situation. What makes you great is that as you go through your faith, let's say you're moving through your faith, and as you're moving through yourself to be better, those opportunities start showing up at different points, and you see better and you see more because you became laser focused, and your brain is now continuously contemplating not the possibilities, but what the reality is. And now the opportunities are here. And then what's the reality in that opportunity? And then they merge, and it's two thumbs up there. And when they merge, that's when everything happens. That's why you see a lot of people that have made it. And this has nothing to do with making money. It has nothing to do with that. You would think it does. But what happens is you're in your life path. And as you move forward, either by yourself or with a group or with significant other or others, you start to blossom. And when you blossom, that's when things happen for you, whatever the case may be. Of course, there's a monetary faction of it. But 9 times out of 10, it's what you love to do. And that's what we're saying from that point of view. And then everything else becomes easier. And as you get better in life, you accumulate. And when you accumulate those things that you attract. So there's been a lot of talk in the past about the law of attraction. And this has been around for centuries. And what we're saying here is possible. And you can attract what you want. And yet the thing is, what you want might not be what you need. Those two things have to line up for all of that to happen. There is a lot of different theories on it. I can tell you firsthand, what makes everything purposeful for you is that you follow your faith, you get a formula, you get you a routine to be successful. And that's why the opportunities and mindset go together. So let's say you're an attorney, and let's say someone calls you for a major case. We don't know. Let's just say a major case, and let's say you're going to make 6 to 7 figures, maybe 8 or 9 figures on this particular case. Let's just say. So they call you, you talk to them, you tell them come in for a consultation. and you see the people, and in your mind, you're like, okay, this opportunity is here. Okay, so what do I do? So I be myself and I do what I do. And so you get the client, sign the contracts, and then everything else that comes after that follows. So if you're sitting at the mountaintop and they're bringing you these types of cases, and then your lawyer's practice or your law firm or whatever you want to call it, or corporation, legal corporation, is growing. So that's where you want to be, is growing. So in order for that to happen, you have to have simplicity at the center. And to have that simplicity at the center is, what am I doing every day that is going to move me forward within what I'm accomplishing, not what you're trying to accomplish. And that's what we say about the tenses. What I'm going to do today, what am I doing today that's helping me accomplish my goals and my mission? That part there is where you got to be. You have to be, because then those opportunities will start showing up. So back to the law firm, okay, or the law corporation. This is the part that all of your training and all of your schooling and all of your preparation has prepared you for this one moment the first time. Once you get through this one moment and battle yourself to be better, then it should seem as a domino effect. Start getting other clients, and that's the way it should work. Now, in a perfect world, that's probably it. But you win some, you lose some cases, and reputation follows depending on how you lost. And that's another topic for another day. And we'll go into it a little bit here, though. You never actually lose. You just have delayed success. So sometimes you have to reevaluate yourself. And if you're too close to the situation, you have to have others that you trust to evaluate you, to give you an alternate opinion so that you can make the changes if needed to be better. So, and this goes along with every industry. I don't care what industry it is. I constantly have people that tell me about my live streams, that tell me which way I should focus, and we have a reciprocal relationships. And so there's many people that do that. And I should say a reciprocal relationship to get my tenses right. And those people that do that, they help me to move forward. So whether that's a life coach, business coach, whatever it is, whatever the case it may be, whatever's going to make you be better, you got to have those tools available and up on deck. Now, one of the things that strikes a lot of people's eye is sometimes you got to get up in the morning and say, I'm the best. You got to look at yourself in the mirror and say, hey, this is me. Hey, this is what I do. I'm the best at what I do. And then you got to go out there and tackle the world. So that brings us to our next point about the stress levels. So you want everything to be at least between 85 and 90%, at least on a daily basis, as conducive for you, even if it's a stressful situation. And then that's where your coping mechanisms come in, or what do you do to alleviate the stress? And alleviate that stress, you got to go within yourself and say, is this really worth it? Let me take a big, deep breath, or a couple of them. And then let me have a cooler head so I can think, and let me stay in my creative mind and not in my competitive mind. Because you're only competing against yourself in everything you do. Now, if yourself is better than what you were yesterday, then you have a very distinct chance of winning. But if yourself is not better, then guess what? You're going to have delayed success. And so therein lies the paradox, and therein lies the lesson. The paradox is simply this: how can I maintain my standard, my personal standard, and work within this situation accordingly? How can I own this situation? Okay. And then the delayed success is, okay, maybe you skipped some steps, or maybe you didn't follow through totally, but you did have a victory. So, and a victory might be a small victory. Maybe you went to court, or maybe you went and did whatever you're supposed to do. It's just the outcome was not conducive to you. But there's always a way to attack the outcomes. And maybe you need to negotiate for a second trial, or maybe you need to negotiate for a second chance. So, and that's what life's all about. Taking a chance based on the facts. And that's why you have to do your due diligence. And that's in everything you do. So you want to start a new business? Okay, do the due diligence. Find out what the metrics are for that business. Whatever it is, talk to people, be around people that are in the business or industry you're trying to go into. Just, ask them 15 minutes at a time. And that's the beauty of the internet. You can go a lot of places and get a lot of help, but you just got to decide when you're going to get off your duff and go do it. Decisions are made through facts. Those are sound decisions. What you don't know is where the fear, but what you don't know is a part of the growth. So when you move forward, you're growing, and your growth will rise off the charts. This is the beauty of it. So that's why I say therein lies the paradox and therein lies the lessons. So as you're growing, you will attract who you need to be around. And as you're growing, all the stressful situations will start easing up on you, and they'll start falling away. That's why we say, don't let the haters get you. Let it roll off your back like a duck. That's why. You can learn a lot by watching animals. You can learn a lot because they just keep going no matter what. One time I was somewhere and I saw a flock of geese or ducks. They were something like that. They had bills. And I saw one of them fall out the sky because someone had shot it. I was in a rural area. Someone had shot one and it fell out the sky. So the flock tightened the reins and kept going. So the winged individual that fell out the sky, I watched as a hunter and dogs went over to get him. So obviously the animal fell out the sky and died on the way. But the lesson was to keep going no matter what. Now, maybe that's not a greatest analogy, but it's an analogy that works because you can picture it in your mind. Okay, now, was it cruelty to animals? We don't know. So some people out there we have in our group that they love animals that much. But maybe the hunter had to put food on their table for their family. So, and they were carnivores. So there that is. So do I condone it? It has nothing to do with me. It's just what I saw. So I'm just using it. So anyways, in our picture, what makes this picture so great is that the spaceship is going to another level. So it's going through a tunnel. Or if you watch a lot of sci-fi, it's going at hyper speed. And that's where you want to be. You want to be at a successful speed that's going to boost you to where you need to go. It's not an easy task, but nobody said it was going to be easy. But when you get in your life path and you get on something that you love to do, it's going to seem like it's not work and things are just going to come to you. Then it's up to you to decide. And then fear represents the unknown, and the unknown is just the other forces telling you you don't need to do it. And you also may have people around you that tell you you might not want to do it, but you have to look at the messenger. I'm all for it, especially in the group. Go do what you need to do to make yourself better, because all you got to do is take one more step a day and you're better than the previous day. That's how simple it is. That's why that simplicity at the center is so important, because you take big steps, you take baby steps, you take all steps in between. And what that does is make you become a better individual, because as you're stepping, you're growing. And as you're growing, you're learning. And as you're learning, you're increasing your personal value and your value to others. And then once you realize I have knowledge and I should be getting paid for my knowledge and not for the time. Once that comes, getting paid in your knowledge, then that's when you're going to go ahead and be able to arrive in society and move forward. You're always going to have bills. You're always going to have things. I don't care how much you have or don't have. You're always going to have it. It doesn't matter if you're a rich man or so-called broke man, or a so-called broke woman, or a so-called rich woman, or a so-called other, or so-called rich other, or a so-called broke other. I mean, it doesn't matter. And by the way, we're going to go ahead and add or situation. I'm going to be talking about things from a man's point of view because that's what I identify with. And if you're a pronoun, then just add your pronoun and keep stepping. And that way we have no problems. So, not to take it personal, this is universal knowledge. So, it applies to everyone, no matter who and what you are. So, let's just put that in there. So, I don't have any blowback here. All right. So, but that's what it is. You keep stepping. And as you keep stepping, then you keep doing. And then that becomes your routine every day. It doesn't have to be every minute of the day, but it has to be at some part of your day to be better than you were the day before. Okay. Some people might say, well, you're chasing something. No, you're not. You're just making yourself better each day. So let's take for instance, if someone's walking, okay, on Monday they walked 3,000 steps. On Tuesday, they walked 3,001 steps. That means they got better. Okay. Someone else may walk 3,000 steps and then the next day walk 3,000 steps again. They still got better because now they did it twice in a row. See? So they have consistency. And even the person that did the 3,001 steps, they did it twice in a row. Okay. And they still have consistency and they increased their goal or goals. So it's still a win no matter what. Now, you may have someone that walks 3,000 steps on Monday and then only does 2,500 steps on Tuesday. Okay, so are they having delayed success? Where's the win at? Well, the win is that they were consistent for 2 days in a row. Okay, they still got up and did it. So that means that, okay, so they say, wow, okay, I walked 3,000 steps one day and I walked 2,500 steps today. So their mentality now has to go to the next level. I know that I can walk 3,000 steps and I'm walking 3,000 steps the next day. So they get right back on track. So now that's what you call delayed success because now they're still having success. Now they've done 3 days. Okay. 3 days. Okay. And there's no guilt there for the 2,500 steps because the guilt is just to weigh you down and put it on your heart and add more stress to your life. Not cool, not good. So that's why we say here, if I'm having delayed success, then I'm going to go back to the simplicity of my center. And what my center is my thinking. And then my application of what I'm thinking. And then the application to be consistent day in and day out. So that by the end of the week, or however many days I have scheduled, then I've reached a new height and a new goal. And now, as I'm walking, I get to contemplate and I continuously contemplate what it is I want to do. And I get to work my body and my brain together. So whatever aches and pains I have, I just got to get my body back in alignment so that I have the proper range of motion. So that's what we deal with all the time. And it doesn't necessarily have to go in that order, but you kind of want it to go in an order that's conducive to you. And one of the situations that's conducive to you is waking up positive every morning. Positive. First thing you do is positive. First thing you say is positive. Even if you're in a negative environment, you only see abundance. And this is very important for the opportunities and mindset and why they go together. One day, you may be driving through a nefarious neighborhood, a neighborhood where there's a lot of challenges. Okay. You have to just see abundance because those challenges imprint images in your brain, which can possibly change your mindset, which is true. It's been scientifically proven. So one of the situations you do, so if you got to go to work every day and you got to go through this part of the neighborhood, okay, realize that it's just an unrealized potential there. Or maybe it was a great neighborhood at one time and it just went down for whatever. Maybe they didn't get the funding. We don't know what happened. But you still have to look at that neighborhood as abundance because you still have land over there. You have homes over there, or you got tenements, apartments. So we have people in our group that's what they do. They redevelop land. And they're here and we're going to interview them. So they know who they are. And we have people that really redevelop single family residences or SFRs. So These are people that are working in neighborhoods and turning those neighborhoods into abundance. So that's how you have to look at it. I don't see poverty, so to speak. I just see abundance. I see a misappropriation sometimes of funds, and I also see a misappropriation of goods and services that's needed for those particular neighborhoods. So, but there's potential there. You just got to know how to navigate. So that's why I say you got to go back to your simplicity at the center. And the reason why you have to go back to your simplicity at the center is because you got to understand what it is that you are accomplishing and what it is that you can do, and to keep your stress level at a modicum. So some people have businesses, some people have jobs and businesses. So some people got a combination thereof. So what makes it good is that as you're stepping forward, you're still moving forward, and you're being consistent on a daily basis, and you're taking care of yourself, because your body and your brain will tell you, okay, we need to rest today. Excuse me, we need to rest today, or we need to be, we need to lay down, or we need to not have stress. So that's the whole name, in this whole opportunities and mindset go together. Alleviate your stress as much as you can. When you have your own businesses, or you're stepping foot or out forth, or you coming forth by day, as they say, all you need to do is be better at what you do, and you're trying to cut down on your stressors that are stressing you. And when you're in business, you create a lot of your own stress. Once you realize that, then it's a light bulb moment, like, wow, okay. Once you realize that, then you can start moving forward to take care of those stresses. Maybe you have to outsource, maybe you have to, because it's your business, maybe you got to let go so that you can move forward. You hear a lot of business owners say that. Or maybe, you got so many bills chasing you that you don't see a way out. But how you can see a way out is to realize, okay, I need to negotiate that's conducive to my budget. I need to be better at handling the stress of these bills, because they're coming every month or every 90 days, whatever it is, you know that they're coming. So you need to go ahead and make that action plan or that business plan, so that you can get clients, or you can get more into your house. So you need to increase, and that's that opportunities. And opportunity will allow you to increase. And if it's opportunities, you can increase on multiple fronts and multiple levels. So when you're out here doing your job, okay, maybe they got overtime. Okay, so you got to figure out, okay, if I do overtime, how much am I making? So depending on what state you're in, okay, depending on if they have a state income tax or not. You got a federal tax and you got a state income tax. Okay, so there's a few states that don't. I won't go over them here, but that's another time, another conversation. But you got to figure out, okay, how much will I really be making if I work 6 hours overtime? What is the threshold? What is the threshold that I need to make versus what my quality of life is? And can I handle that extra hours? Or, are they gonna let me work from home and do it? So that's where that negotiation comes in. You might be able to do more at home than you are at the job. So you need to negotiate. And I know a lot of jobs right now, they're trying to push people back in the offices and this and that. And so you gotta balance that, because you got gas going up, okay, and your car you paying more money, so because you gotta go. So it's an unequal balance, and then it's creates stress because of the driving. But if you can stay at home and dial in, then we can cut some of that. You can cut some of that, and then it's just that simple. That's why the simplicity at the center. That's what we're saying. So you do that. Okay, now I can cut. These gas prices are high, where I had to fill up, whatever kind of car I got, let's say 2-3 times a week, okay, or whatever it is. Okay, just hypothetical. So don't take it as the gospel. Okay, so if I can cut this down, I can be out the rat race, especially if I'm living in a major city for a day or two a week. So that's what you want to try to negotiate. And the reason why, because you want to, here's the gas and here's you. You don't want to pile on more stress. Oh, it's going to cost me $250 to fill up for the week, or, whatever it is, whatever the price is. Okay. So you want to negotiate from your home. So sometimes it's just, talking to HR privately and not telling anyone. and asking for a confidentiality clause on it so that you can go ahead and do it. So we don't know what your job is. I don't know. I don't pretend to know. But this is what seems logical. Now, am I talking from a perfect world? No. What I'm talking about is real time on demand information so that you can go and think about it and then say, you know what, maybe I need to. Now, you've been going to work late and showing up late and doing all kinds of things at your job that not kosher. Now you realize that you're trying to bargain from a -9 position. Okay, so be smart about what you do, and you know who you can talk to at your job and who you can't. So find out, find out. That's all. We're just in a group. We're just trying to find real world solutions. Okay, now you have your own business. Okay, let's go there. Okay, so you're the boss. So all your stress, and this is your stress, and the money coming in, this has to rise, and this is the money. This has to rise. Okay, this has to be rising because the more money you make, the more stressors you're going to have, because the more money you make, the more people ask you for money. People see you doing good. They want a piece. Okay, then they want to add stress to you to bring you down to their level. So in order to combat that, you got to go to your simplicity at the center to know, okay, this is how I need to deal with these particular people or this particular person or persons, because then you're going to manage your stress. So you're always cutting your stress level down as much as possible. So if you have to hire people, hire well, manage less. Hire bad, manage more. That's the old adage. So get people in your program, however you got to do it, whether it's an intern program, whether you got to hire somebody, you can pay them part-time, or somebody or you got somebody in the family that you can trust to do some of the things that you can't do. So you want to get somebody in, especially when you start going on calls, sales calls, and different things that we call them adventure calls here, because that's what it is. So as long as you got contracts, then you got money. And if you got contracts on the way, you got money. So that's how you take your stress, take it down, because, okay, I got bills here. Okay. Or we all got bills. Okay. And we got this up here. So I got a contract. So say if my house note, let's just say, okay, particular, I'm going to use an example. All right. Say the house note is $60,000 a year. Say the house note is $5,000 a month. Let's just say, okay, we're just going hypotheticals. There's a lot of people out there with these kind of notes. Okay, especially if you live in certain states. All right, so say your house is $5,000 a month. So that's for the mortgage. Okay, so that's 60 G's in a year. Okay, that's 60 G's in a year. Now, how do I pay that? Okay, if I got a job and I'm making that kind of money, that's how I got qualified for my house. Okay, then fine. But it's still taking out a percentage of your gross, of your net. Okay. But now, if I got a job and a business, okay, and this represents the house note on this one. Okay, I got a job and a business. The business has to get to the point where it supplements the job or supplants the job. So now I've got two incomes. So there that is. So now, if I got two incomes, one of these incomes can pay for this house note, and I still got 3/4 of my paycheck from the job. Let me run it one more time. All right. House note, 60K, say 5,000 a month. Living good. All right. I got a job. That's how I got qualified for the home. Okay. So I got a mortgage of 60,000 a year. Okay. And 5,000 a month. Okay. So my job could pay for it. But now I get in a house and I realize that this is taking, whatever, 20%, 30%, whatever it is of my income. Okay. So then I get a business. Okay. And then I work on the business like at least 4 to 5 times a week. And I still got playtime on Saturday and Sunday, and I still got my Fridays off. Okay. But the business has to supplant the income. So if I'm making whatever amount of dollars, if my business can make at least 50 to 60% of what I'm making on my job, then I know right now that I got money from that business can go in and pay for that house. Now, and there's levels to that. There's things you can do, and there's legal entities you can create. And we're not going to go into that here. That's what I coach in my consulting, in my coaching business. So this is where you should be. And I'm not saying that this is a perfect situation, but my income has to be able to pay for my living. So we have people in our group that, like I said, they rehab single family homes. So they have a longer circle of when they're going to get paid. So they'll rehab the home. Okay. Then they get a real estate agent, however they do it. We're going to interview them. We're going to go in the process. Don't worry, it's coming. And then, they get a real estate agent, or maybe they sell it to another investor, whatever the case may be. But then their money comes, and then they're able to pay out and do all the things that they should do. Okay. And that's what you want. It's a good business model. We have another person here in our group that is doing commercial and SFRs. So their knowledge is a little bit different, but they have the same genre of dealing with real estate. And those are the people that I like to talk to, because those people are always on a project and moving forward. So what they have to say and how their sense of urgency, it makes for a great conversation and a great amount of knowledge to press forward, because you can take that, because real estate is everything in America and around the world. So those are people that I want to deal with. And those are people that I like to talk to. And I have many, some of them not in the group. I have other friends that are not in the group that do that. So I came from a transportation background. So the difference with real estate and transportation is simply this: transportation gets paid faster. So conceivably with transportation, you get paid 3 or 4 times a day, every day, whatever the case may be. It just depends on how much can you take. And that's every business and everything you do. So like we said, the simplicity at the center, if you keep it simple and you keep it good, then your opportunities and your mindset, they go together. Because if you make your situation simple, like you get up, you do your routines, you do what you do, you don't have to make it monotonous, but every day you're consistent, then the opportunities are going to show up. And once you add a little faith to it, a lot of faith actually, then those opportunities will start showing themselves. And then depending on where your mentality is, will be how you approach that opportunity. So that's when you get an opportunity, you move in secrecy, and then you find out, what you need to do. And then, you do your due diligence. And what I mean by due diligence is finding out if that situation is really right for me. Sometimes you feel it in your heart. So that's how you got to do it. Can I accomplish this? Okay, that's something you got to ask yourself. I ask myself that and just say, you know what, I'm accomplishing it. But I got a formula and a system that I created for me. Just like you'll have a formula and a system that you create for yourself. So that's what that's why we have this up here, this portal to excellence up here. That's why we call it that. Because one thing about it is that there's the ship. That's you. Imagine yourself there. All right. You're blasting off to the new direction, to the portal. And there's your brain all around you. Okay, this is your brain all around you, and your brain is thinking nothing but positive thoughts. And you can project yourself as seeing, okay, I'm doing it. And so this ship is ready to go. Only you know where it's going. Nobody else knows that. So only you know. So move in secrecy, move in stealth. It's a difference. And keep rolling for yourself. So that might be something some people need to say, I'm moving in stealth, get my wealth, whatever floats your boat. Okay. So it's been a long ride tonight. I went later because I wanted more people to be able to enjoy what I'm talking about, but enjoy it in a perspective of just being positive, not so much that it's me, but just enjoying that it's a positive outcome And take this information, please take this information and put it in your life that's going to work for you. It's worked for me. So am I out here on my ego? No. What I'm saying is this seems to be the general consensus in everything that we all do. It's just my interpretation of it. And I'm sure you have an interpretation of it. But just take that information and you look at things conducive to you and what can move you forward. And so we'd like to thank everyone for listening to me tonight or today. And prayers for everyone. And what I want for myself, I want for others. And I pray for this world. And I pray for you. And be blessed in all that you do. And have a great rest of the week. And we're going to have some more of these together. I would like to have more people in the chat, like to have more subscribers. But if this is the way it's going to be, then I'll keep going until I get it right. So, anyways, we're moving forward. So, you guys are moving forward also. So, thank you once again. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And make sure you take care of yourself and make sure you get through to Friday because guess what? It's always another day to be great. Right on.